Hi, my name is Paige Bolkovic. This is video reflection number 5, the final reflection for my internship at PhillyCam in Center City, Philadelphia. I'm a dual education major in early grades education and special education, and I have the youth empowerment and urban studies minor. This week was June 13th and Thursday, June 15th. There were no students this week. It was just me and Aileen kind of finishing up and doing different things for Ariel. Yeah. So, as I kind of mentioned in my intro, we started finishing up just different projects for Ariel that we could help out with in her office and in the PhillyCam building. So there were no students there. It was just Aileen, me, and Ariel was kind of just in her office, like finishing up things before the fellowship begins. And Aileen and I were just getting to work on our final project, the capstone, and finishing up some projects for Ariel. One thing that I've been working on that Ariel asked me to do was to create a social justice term wall. I included some pictures of that after this short clip. So that's kind of what went on this past week. For our final reflection questions, in consideration to Stephen Goodman's book, Youth and Media, the different process in his book, because they were creating a documentary, was very different from what I saw in my field site. We were just doing a lot of small projects. There was nothing like huge and conclusive with a social justice aspect. The two projects that I think had a social justice edge to them was the Ariana Grande video after the Manchester attack and Lamont's gay pride flag that never got finished, unfortunately. I do believe, though, that what he has stated about student voice and student opinion and really having this safe, comfortable community that students feel they can talk in and really express their creativity is so important when working with youth. And that is something I hope to have in my own classroom one day, whether or not I want to take a media outlook to it or just in the classroom, creating that safe space, that community, I think is really important with any progressive work that we're doing with youth. Something that surprised me about this process was actually learning things that involve media. The first day I stared at the screen with the Adobe editor up and I wouldn't even know what to press. I wouldn't know what to do. And then by week 5, the kids, they taught me, Ariel taught me, and I put together the whole capstone video with the footage that Aileen and I both shot, and it was actually really cool, and I really surprised myself through that process and that change. Some assumptions that I did have is that this free program in Philadelphia was going to be tethered to youth that were what's the word I'm looking for? That weren't wealthy, they didn't have a lot of opportunity, but it was actually a huge mix of students. Some were very high socioeconomic status, traveling abroad during the summer, taking so many dance classes, going to University of the Arts, where their parents are helping pay for most of their tuition, their camera fees, stuff along the lines of that. There were actually very few students that I met that were kind of like not struggling, I don't like using that word, but were maybe economically disadvantaged. I think that's what I always kind of expect when I'm working in Philadelphia, and I really think that's a mindset that I need to change when I move into the city, or even right now, not when I move. My experience definitely challenged those assumptions, definitely flipped my thinking 180. Just because it's a free program doesn't mean that only students that need free programs are going to be there. It was awesome to see the diverse group of students taking advantage of this amazing community outreach program, and just kind of seeing the creativity that was there, and listening to Ariel and seeing how much she has planned for Philly Cam Youth. What skills of yours have been an asset in the community? I think that I'm a really talkative, really easygoing person. A lot of the youth would talk to me about what's going on in their lives, what's going on with their girlfriend, things along the lines of that. So I think that was a big asset for me, because it was really easy to reach out to the other youth and just be super friendly and just I'm there for you type of attitude. I'm also a really quick learner, so anything they were teaching me on the camera, the editing software, once they showed me one time, I was fine with the rest of it, and that really came in handy when they needed me to take over a project or needed me to film something. I was just able to do that after learning how to do it once. So I never really thought of myself as a community member. I know in school communities, you're part of the school, you're a teacher, you're a student, things along the lines of that. But until considering moving to Philadelphia, I never really considered myself part of a community. But seeing as I'm going to be part of this community soon, how can I be civically engaged and engaged within my community? Maybe not just with youth, but maybe it could go as far as adding a membership to Philly Cam, which they definitely encourage us to do. I really want to continue working with Ariel in the future and seeing where she goes with Philly Cam Youth and what it turns into after years and years and years. Definitely my experience in this course has impacted just how many things like different places have to offer, especially a city such as Philadelphia. You could find a group for anything you wanted to do. I remember I was talking to Dr. Pagan in the beginning of the class about my love for ceramics, and she's like, oh, there's a group in Philadelphia that does ceramics and has different kilns, and you could join them. And there's probably just a community for everything within a city as big as Philly. And to see the community in Philly Cam and see what Ariel has created, and just engaging these high school students to show up all the time, rain, in the heat, after a long day of school, they're still coming to see Ariel, to be a part of this community, which I thought was absolutely amazing. I definitely think there is a need for Philly Cam Youth. I believe in a social justice standpoint that creating an outlet for students to project their voice, their creativity, their thoughts, their ideas is so important for youth, because they're at such a critical time in their lives where they're experiencing all these crazy, harsh things around them, and they kind of need a place to come and just output what goes in and just really find ways to shout their voice out. And through our interview project, I know Aileen and I really learned that one thing that all the students had in common about Philly Cam is that it gave them a voice, a creative outlet for their voice, and really shaped who they are as a person. They're beginning to shape who they are as a person because they're still in high school, although they may be more figured out than I am. I think the next steps to take would be maybe have a more social justice standpoint with the youth and do more instruction, which I think is what Ariel is trying to do over the next couple of years. Really shift from just like the free-flowing do whatever project you want, like Zombie Eyes, to like what can we do that might promote change in our neighborhood? Who can we talk to? Who can we interact and collaborate with? What's around us that can help shape our role in our community. And I think the amazing thing about PhillyCam that kind of fights the inequity in Philadelphia neighborhoods, that anyone can come and just go to PhillyCam and become a student member in the youth program and create this media using all this technology that they have for free. They can check it out for days at a time. They can use brand new computers, like green screens, filming things. They can use it for school projects. They can use it for their own independent projects. And I really think making that available to every youth just in the surrounding area is absolutely amazing. There's no certain like you need to have this much money coming in, there's this membership fee. There's not. It's absolutely free for them. They can come in and just be a part of this community, which I think is absolutely beautiful.